Should you be waiting for version 3.3? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video, guys, going over all the reasons why you might want to be skipping Anaxa and going for version 3.3 characters, that being Cipher, and I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. I don't know how to say her name, the Hyacine. I'm just gonna call her Cutie Patootie, okay? And more so on top of that, guys, this is really just gonna be going over all the options on what you should be picking. Like, this video will be no slight towards Anaxa, because this will also be giving you reasons maybe on why you want to pull for Anaxa here, but also reasons on why you want to be skipping him and why you might want to pull for Cipher as well. So, or Cutie Patootie here. So, number one, guys, let's hop into all of their roles first. Anaxa's role is a main and sub DPS for your edition, and I'm sure you'll notice a trend here, guys. All of these characters here play a sub-DPS role, and I feel like that is the direction that the game is going, versus, you know, this character just being a main DPS, right? This character just being a support for follow-up, or whether this character just being a healer. They're adding some extra roles to these characters, which are really nice, because they give them more longevity with adding these roles, right? It gives them something else to do, where I would prefer buffs with these roles. Sub-DPS is pretty nice as well, but that is pretty solid across the board, that all of these characters here will play some type of a sub-DPS role. Hopping into Cipher here, guys, she's a follow-up support, sub-DPS, and a debuffer as well. And then finally, the role for Cutie Patootie here, she's a healer and a sub-DPS that really relies on the healing you're doing to maximize the damage you're able to do on the enemy. She also has a little memo sprite. Look at that little thing right there. That's obviously her little memo sprite, right? Now, obviously, I can't go into too many leaks here today because the kits haven't been revealed for either of these characters, so I'll do my best to kind of explain what they do without getting into too many leaked territories here, or into exactly what they do, right? So take everything I say today with a grain of salt, because this might not be what they do. This is just my expert opinion, one would say, right? So the next thing I want to talk about here, guys, is one of the main reasons on why you should be summing for these characters, because it depends on the characters you have for your account. Going over the best partners for Anaxa first, that being the Herda and Sunday. Now, the reason why I have two partners for him and why I don't have two partners for them, right? First of all, we're not getting to leak territory, right? So I don't want to go over, you know, every team that they can be ran on, but I want to give a general sense for how these teams are kind of structured and what the best options are here. So the reason why I say the Herda and Sunday here, guys, is because of the fact that, you know, he can be ran on a dual DPS team, right? Because if he's running on a dual DPS team, we can kind of take notes from this video before, right? You're running him with the Herda. She's able to provide him an 80% crit damage buff, which he loses when you run him on a team with the Herda, but he's also providing a 50% crit damage bonus for the team as well, so that means you're able to give the Herda an extra 50% damage there too. Now, Sunday works very similarly, right? Or Sunday in a hyper carry team is a little bit different, right? Because, first of all, you get immediate action, you get increased damage dealt, you get free skill point usage, you get increased crit rate, you get increased crit damage here, like, you just get a lot of different things here. Oh, you also get extra energy regen as well. Why am I'm not thinking, right? You get a lot of different things here when using Sunday on the team with him as well. So these are his two best in-slot partners, and I think if you have either of these characters in your account, he will be a great pickup for your account. Now let's hop into Cipher here, right? Now Cipher is if you have Face Shalf. She is a follow-up support through and through, though I think she can be ran as a main DPS on her own team if you want her to, and I think she can be ran on other teams other than Face Shalf. But the main one I want to focus on here, and the main focus I think that should kind of be on her right now, is Face Shalf. The reason why is because she has a lot of attacks. She does a lot of attacks. She does a lot of follow-up attacks. And if I were to guess, she plays off the amount of damage your team is going to be doing, the amount of damage she's going to be doing. So she's overall just helping out with the team damage, right? This also is going to be charging Face Shal's ult up really fast too. So if you had Face Shal in your account, you maybe didn't have the Herda or Sunday in your account, or maybe you didn't have the Herda on your account, I think that Cipher is going to be a better pickup for you than maybe an Anaxa would be, right? Now, finally, for her, this girlie right here, Castorice. She is the healer for Castorice. Now, like I said, can't go into league territory, but just know that she's going to be a really good healer for Castorice. She's going to help with her damage numbers. She helps with damaging the enemy. She does a lot of healing very consistently. So overall, you're going to be supercharging your Castorice back up. So with that being said, guys, I really do think if you have any of these characters in your account, whether that be the Herda, Face Shalf, or Castorice, or Sunday, I guess you could say, right? The character you see these partners assigned to, that's the character I would pull for, because they synergize the best with these characters. If you don't have these characters, then you lose a lot of viability for these characters, right? I'm not saying they lose all viability, because I think they all play their own role, but overall, they are like, this is like the best one slot for the characters, right? Now we're gonna hop into number 3 here, guys. This is gonna be the operation outside the team, or I guess you could say what they provide to the team when they're not in their best in slot team, right? So in the grand scheme of things, if you don't have them with their best partners, right, what are they providing for the team? So with someone like Anaxa, right, you're getting a team-wide damage bonus if you're using him on a team with another Erudition character. Now, he also does have an AoE CC, meaning whenever you pop his ultimate move off, you'll be putting them in the sublimation state. They can't take action. So essentially, they are CC. They cannot move. And then finally, guys, weakness implant. I think weakness implant is something important to talk about. He doesn't decrease the enemy's resistance to these types. So say you're facing someone like the Deer, for example, right? If you're using an imaginary or a wing character on the team, which is an Anaxa, right? So this character will still have a 40% resistance to what Anaxa is doing to the enemy. So do keep that in mind, guys. It does not reduce this number at all. So their damage is still not going to look the best in the world because he's not reducing it. You're just reducing the toughness faster, which means you break the enemies faster. Cipher right here, guys, outside the team operation, she's a Fuba Fiend. She will just be following up, meaning she can work in practically any follow-up related team or any follow-up adjacent team. Fei Xiao, the reason why she works so good with Fei Xiao is because Fei Xiao can play off the follow-up. You see Fei Xiao playing super well with someone like a Topaz, right? Or someone like a Lingsha, right? Because they're following up on the enemy a lot. They're able to do follow-up attacks a lot, which is just a lot of attacks in general. You have Topaz and Noombi doing follow-up attack, Topaz attack, follow-up attack again, which is for a lot of build-up for the ult for Fei Xiao. Also, they're going to be working practically in any high-damaging team, just from how their kit works. Can't really go into that, but just know I think that's how they'll be able to work. Right, next, I think they'll have vulnerability as well, meaning you can bypass the enemy's vulnerability. So, essentially, think of it like a mini Tribby, right? Tribby has the ability to do a lot of attacks on the enemy. She also has the ability to, you know, make the enemies take additional damage, which is what she'll do. And honestly, and arguably, in my opinion, this is huge. If she's able to actually do this, of course. And I honestly do think that she is the best free-to-play DPS in the game. Genuinely, guys, looking at all the kit, or my bad, gauging on what I think the kit might be like, I think that she will be the best free-to-play DPS in the game. I think she is better of a free-to-play DPS than what Anaxa is. But we'll get more into that when she's getting closer to release. And then let's hop into her as well. Guys, she's a healer, right? She does sub DPS damage. She has a Memo Sprite, obviously, this little cutie patootie up here, and then major healing. Just a lot of healing she can do for the team, right? So she'll play that role as a sustain really nice. If you needed someone to heal, hey, that's your girl right there. If you didn't get maybe any of the other healers that recently released, like Lingsha, like Fushuan, like Locha, like I'm trying to think who else here, Aventurine, hey, she's going to be great for your account. If you don't have 2 limited sustains in your account, or my bad, I should say, if you don't have 1 limited sustain in your account, she's going to be massive. We're also probably getting a buff with Bailu soon too, so hey, that could also be a pretty good option too, right? But overall, she's going to be really good as a sustain character on your account. If you have 2 sustains, then her value does drop a lot, but just want to let that be known. Now, let's hop into the 4th and final point here, which is future-proof, guys. Future-proofing for Anaxa is a little bit weird because he is really selfish, okay? So, you really are going to need a good Erudition class support, and what I mean by this is I don't think that he is ever replacing the Herd on the team, right? The reason why I don't think that he's replacing Third on the team here is because she provides an 80% crit damage bonus for the team, which is really massive. Well, yes, he does provide a 50% damage bonus to the team. Overall, I think I like the crit damage a little bit better, and the reason I think that is because we have a lot of supports in the game now that really do offer a lot of damage percentage. Now, this obviously comes in clutch for those characters that don't offer it, but these are a lot of older characters that don't offer themselves damage percentage. A lot of the newer characters are offering themselves damage percentage. So with these characters offering themselves a lot of damage percentage, a lot of crit damage and stuff like that, I do overall think the Herta plays better. Also, the Herta plays off of just the team in general having Erudition characters. Like, her kit is built around having Erudition characters on the team, whereas he is not, right? This is why I think in the future, for him to be good, you have to have someone that releases that is better than the Herta, that would be providing him a buff, because his build becomes immeasurably harder if you do not have the Herta on the team, because you're losing a lot of crit damage, 140% at max, that you would need to be building into him. So the main point with this, guys, is that he really does need either a Erudition class support or a Erudition class sustain character that really works with him. Next, AoE CC can work, and he has a pretty easy hyper carry build. What do I mean by this, guys? We can go back to the video we touched on the other day. If you haven't watched it already, please go watch it. He has a lot of free-to-play Lycan options, a lot of relic set options, and he gives himself a lot of free crit damage. So crit rate is all you really need to be building into, and you can get a lot of that for free as well. Now, let's hop into more of Cipher now, right, guys? She has an insanely easy build too. Like, genuinely, I think her build will be easier than his build will be. Genuinely, guys. The debuff will be amazing, and she's going to be an amazing and great sub DPS, considering maybe she'll do true damage for most of her attacks, and maybe you can stack that motherfucker up, okay guys? I'm thinking buff the QQ without any gotcha luck, with just an insane damage cap there, okay? So overall, I think that out of these three characters here, right, because we're going to talk about her in a second, I do think Cipher has the best future-proof ability and the best operation outside of her own team than either of these characters have. Now let's hop into the next topic here, which is future-proof ability for her. Any other max HP or healing scaling units, I think she'll work really well there. I think she can also work pretty well on teams that want you to attack a lot. So that's really the main future-proof ability I see for her. Genuinely, guys, if I were to give a rating of my pull priority here of number 1, number 2 here, and number 3 here, I would say that Cipher is number 1. Anaxa is number 2, and Cutie is number 3 here, right? I don't know if I spelled that right. It doesn't matter. I think the only thing detracting from Cipher right now is the facial. Now, I know you guys are going to say, facial's dog shit, bro. You cringe stinky. What the fuck? Bro, I don't know what the fuck's up with Pride 1, bro. They're hating on Foof. They're hating on this bitch too much. I have beaten every single in-game game mode faster with her then I'm beaten with a free-to-play Aglia team. I don't care what the fuck you say. There is no shot that she is 2 tiers below this. If anything, maybe tier 0.5 because she's definitely harder to play with. Maybe than Aglia, but on her best, like, it's hard for me to say because you really do want Eidolons with Aglia. You don't need Eidolons with her. You don't need Lycomb for her. You have free-to-play option here. Overall, guys, I would say that either she's tier 0.5 or tier 0. There's no way she's tier 1. I think they're kind of coping on that, and I think a lot of people will take that for granted when looking at her. Also, people probably don't have facial because facial is considered obsolete. But it does leave room for another main DPS follow-up character to be coming out that plays really well with her. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your pulls here, guys. Always think about the future and think about what will offer your account more value in the future than it does right now, because honestly, guys, if they're a DPS like Cipher and Anaxa are, while I do think that he'll probably offer you more damage out the gate than someone like Cipher will, I think if we were to take a look at like 2 charts right here of Anaxa here, and then we have Cipher here, I think the chart will probably look something like this. Like, usability is probably going to go like this for him, whereas usability probably goes like this for her, right? So I see a much slower decline for Cipher than I do for someone like Anaxa, just because of the buff she's able to offer for the full team and the basically utility that she provides. Anyways, guys, I think you probably should wait for Cipher. Maybe I'm a little bit biased here. I do think she's better free-to-play speaking than any of the other characters here. But like I said, generally at the end of the day, I think you should go based off of the best partner. If you have Faye Shao in your account, you go for her. If you have the Herder or Sunday in your account, you go for her. And also, pull for who you want to pull for, I guess. If you like Cipher, pull her. If you like Kitty Patootie, pull for her. If you like an Anaxa, pull for him. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I'll be seeing you in the next one later, guys. Bye-bye.